Hi everyone, I'm Alexa, behavioral scientist, mental health advocate, volunteer counselor, all around friendly person, and a medical student on the side. Raising awareness on mental health is a big part of my passions in life. From studying behavioral sciences in my undergraduate years, spearheading activities and organizations that help promote students' mental health all over the world, to participating in talks such as this that aim to help people in their struggles with mental health, especially during the pandemic. So today, I'm really excited to be talking about something that I believe everybody has experienced: stress. At the end of this session, we hope to help guide you in managing your stress little by little each day. So let's get right into it. Let me start off by asking you to ask yourself a question. How am I today? Oftentimes, we ask people, Huy, kumusta ka na? But we don't ask the same question to ourselves. Natapos na lang ang araw, hindi mo pa rin nakakamusta ang sarili mo. Ouch. What exactly is important about this question? Usually, especially during peak stressful moments, our brain has this block or wall that stops us from comprehending that we're actually stressed out. At times when I'm stressed out, especially when it's about school, I actually need someone or my ate to tell me that I need to eat, I need to drink water, or even go to the toilet. Stress is so harmful to us, and we don't even know about it. But what exactly is stress? Well, today we're going to answer that question. And along the way, we're going to bust some common myths about stress and learn about the A, B, and C's that can help us solve those problems that we're experiencing right now regarding stress. Myth number one: no signs of stress means no stress. True or false? False. That's a big no no. Just because you're not experiencing obvious signs of stress doesn't mean you're not actually stressed out. Remember a while ago when I said that when we're stressed out, our brain has this block or wall that stops us from comprehending that we're stressed out? Well, too many times I've actually talked to a lot of people who don't realize or have realized too late that stress have already been eating them inside for so long. Which brings us to our number one step in combating stress, which is A, awareness. Know when you're stressed out. How can we solve a problem when we don't even know that we have a problem? This graph right here is known as the Yerkes-Dodson curve. Basically, it tells us when the level of stress becomes too high, or if there's not enough stress, the performance decreases. Right now, where do you think you are at this curve? Could be that you're really high up, wherein you're actually able to do all your tasks. So you have enough stress, the perfect amount of stress. Or maybe you're too stressed out and you can't think anymore, you can't focus anymore. So you could be at the level wherein there's too much stress, but then you're not able to do anything. If you don't know exactly where you are in the stress, in the stress curve, I actually have some good news for you. You were created with a built-in alarm system. This helps knock some sense into you for you to know that you're actually stressed out. And this alarm system is called your body. Remember the time when you had a stomach ache or headache, or people noticed na mas masungit ka bigla? Usually, maybe this is the time, like days before an exam. Well, this is your body telling you that you're stressed out, that you need to be able to control that stress so that you can actually focus and finish your exam. It's time to listen to your body. But of course, it's not enough to just think about the stress that we have. We have to learn how to accept and acknowledge the stress that we're going through. What you're feeling when you're stressed out, that feeling, that emotion, it's an extremely normal reaction to a normal situation. What I'm trying to say is that it's okay to be stressed out. For now, allow yourself to feel it. Feeling it and sticking by that feeling is actually your first step to conquering stress problems. Here's an activity. Think about and write down some of the things that you think are your warning signs when you're stressed out. For me, some of my warning signs would actually be me getting a headache, feeling really nervous about something that sometimes I don't even know about, feeling like I can't eat, or sometimes I eat too much. So these are some of the warning signs that tell me that I'm stressed out about something and I need to be able to control that. Myth number 2: nothing bad can happen to me from too much stress. True or false? False. Too much stress can negatively affect our concentration, problem solving, personal interactions, and school performance. It can also actually lead to physical and mental health problems. That includes, as I've said before, headaches, stomach aches, you can have anxiety, you can develop depression, drug use, and even aggression. Myth number 3: all stress is bad. True or false? False. Feeling stressed out is actually a normal reaction to a personally perceived abnormal situation. Stress is the body's response to any demand or pressure. It is therefore a natural response. Stress can also have healthy or unhealthy effects on our lives. For example, when we know we have a big test coming up, and that's the stress, it can actually give us the motivation to study. On the other hand, if we become too stressed out about that exam, it can prevent us from focusing and actually doing well. Stress is normal and can be both bad and good. There are actually two types of stress. First one is eustress. This is the positive or good kind of stress from situations that help us feel happy. For example, hanging out with friends, talking to friends, being able to play video games. The other type of stress is distress. This is the negative or bad kind of stress. This can be very harmful to our body. And a good example of that would be, I think, that are relatable to a lot of you is having too much workload at school and not having enough time or the resources to actually finish them. The difference in making stress a positive or negative factor lies with how effectively the person is able to manage it. Which brings us to the number 2 step in combating stress, which is B, for balance. Remember the stress curve. Remember that not enough stress won't actually get you anywhere, or if there's too low stress, it won't help motivate you to do something. On the other hand, too much stress or a really high amount of stress won't also get you anywhere. Here's an activity. Look around you. Look into your mind. Notice your situation. Notice your thoughts. Think about the different stressors in your life. Think if they're a source of good or bad stress to you right now, right at this moment. So what we can do is you can write a graph maybe or a table where you can write down the different stressors that you have in your life right now. Try to categorize them if they're eustress or good stress or bad stress or distress. You can write down some external stressors, which is coming from your physical environment. So for example, right now in the pandemic, the lockdown, if you're feeling if it's under good stress, if it's pushing you to do something being in the lockdown, or if it's stopping you from being productive, you can put it in the bad stress, depending on your situation. And then we have the internal stressors. Internal stressors are more of your lifestyle choices, the way you talk to yourself, self-talk, self-esteem, personality. If you are a short-tempered person, if you are more optimistic, pessimistic. For example, lifestyle choices, some of the decisions that have given you stress recently. If you decided to take a leave of absence, if you decided to stay in school, did that give you good stress or bad stress? This is a way for us to understand that at this moment in time, at this point in life, these are the things that are giving me good stress or bad stress. And then we can see how we can control those bad stressors. Myth number 4. What stresses you out stresses me out. True or false? False. Although we may all be going through a similar or same situations, we actually all look at each situation differently. What may be something stressful to me or to you doesn't necessarily have to be stressful to other people. It's actually about how we manage or cope with the stress that tells us if we're able to control it or not. Myth number 5. There's nothing you can do about stress. It happens, and all you can do is endure it. It's true or false? False. There are many ways to actually cope and manage stress, as well as decrease stress in your life. Some basic lifestyle changes, such as getting enough sleep, eating well, and regular exercise, can actually be a start in reducing stress in your life. But the most important one is to be able to train your mind, which brings us to our last step, or step number 3 in combating stress. C. C for control. In this session, I will be giving you a quick and a short overview of some of the things that we can do to be able to control and manage our stress. I like to call it Pup Patrol for good control. And this consists of mindfulness, support, activity, information, and routine. So let's start with number 1, mindfulness. What exactly is mindfulness? When you're doing something that you're used to or something that's become a routine, like at the moment having to be able to wake up, go to Zoom classes, finish Zoom classes, eat, and go to sleep, that can be a routine. You may be, at the moment that you're experiencing those activities, you may actually be fantasizing about going on a vacation or worrying about something in the future, like a deadline. While you're doing all of that, you're not actually focusing on or you're not actually giving attention, 100% attention to most of those tasks that you're doing. This is what we call being in automatic pilot mode. Mindfulness is the opposite of that. It is about experiencing the world that you're actually in at the present. It is firmly being in the here and now. A significant reason actually for prolonged emotional distress is when we try to attempt to control some of the uncontrollable experiences in our lives. And most of the times we try to think and grade and evaluate those experiences. Every little small detail, we try to think of them, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. In mindfulness, it is the experience of allowing yourself to acknowledge being present, being here and now, without the need to actually try to evaluate yourself. For you to better understand what mindfulness is, we're going to do a little bit of an activity. So try to get a fruit or any kind of food that you can put in your mouth, something that you can hold as well. So we're going to call this the fruit experience.
Most of us eat raisins by grabbing a handful, throwing them in our mouth, giving them a quick munch before swallowing. The next raisin you eat is going to be quite a different experience. So pause for a moment, grab a raisin, just one, or a similar dried fruit if raisins aren't your thing. Then sit comfortably. It's time to wrap your senses around your raisin. Really look at it, see it. What do you notice? Can you see its texture? What about the bumps and lumps? Is it shiny? Have a sniff. What does it smell like? Let your fingertips really feel the shape and the texture. Allow yourself to be completely absorbed in this experience. If your mind wanders, just gently guide it back to your raisin. And in a moment, pop the raisin in your mouth, but it's not time to chew yet. Spend a little while focusing on what it feels like in your mouth, with your tongue, with your teeth. Then, when you're ready, take a bite. Have a good chew. Notice the full experience of the raisin's flavour. How that flavour builds in intensity in your mouth. How incredibly sweet it is. When you've swallowed the raisin, you'll notice the taste lingers for a while.
With that fruit experience, taking it step by step, what was it that you noticed that you might not have been aware of before? Eating a fruit, eating food, something routine in our lives. But with that kind of experience, taking it one step at a time, with that kind of exercise, did you notice something that was out of your routine when you're eating food, when you're eating fruit? Oftentimes, we're actually only able to experience the surface level of things that are happening around us, things that we're feeling inside, because there are just so many things that we're doing. Think of it like opening multiple tabs on your Windows or on your computer. Yes, you can be efficient doing this. Yes, you can finish a lot of tasks, but it comes to a point actually where there are just too many tabs. Too many tabs in your Windows, too many open windows on your computer. There are just too many tasks that are happening, too many routines that are happening. Because all of that is running on your computer, it takes more and more time for the browser to load, it takes more and more time for your tablet to load, and eventually there comes a point your browser or even your whole computer will crash. And there are too many things that are happening in your life right now that eventually you're going to burn out. And that's where mindfulness helps. So, in a sense, mindfulness is being in tune with your body, being in tune with your mind, with how it can sometimes be disarray, or there are just so many things happening. And reality can sometimes feel like it's out of place. Reality can sometimes feel like it's too out of focus and confusing. Mindfulness can actually be done in a lot of different ways, a lot of different exercises. The food experience is just one of them. Some of the more familiar ones can be meditation, breathing exercises, visualizations, relaxing, sensing, writing, drawing. So they're just endless exercises that you can do to practice mindfulness. So I'm going to try to teach you how to do one of them, one of the most simplest ones, and that is breathing meditation. When it comes to meditation with mindfulness, this isn't just about closing your eyes and just forgetting about all the things in life, but it's also experiencing meditating in the present, in the here and now. So you can see here, there's a video, GIF, that teaches us how to breathe. There's a specific way that can help us calm down, specific way of breathing. So let's try to follow the GIF. So try to breathe in with your nose. And then breathe out through your mouth. Try to do it again. Try to hold it as long as you can, and then breathe out through your mouth again. When breathing out, try to imagine a candle. Try to blow the candle, the light of the candle, but then you're not trying to blow it out. It's breathing in through the nose, holding it, and then blowing out. All right. So now that we have the basics on how to do the breathing exercises, we're going to do breathing meditations. Here's a short video on how to do breathing meditations. So I want you to follow the video. It's just about 3 minutes. And then I want you to think about how you felt after the video.
Mindful breathing. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees. Bring your attention to the touch of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your body on your chair or cushion. Make sure that your back is straight and that you're comfortable. Take a few deep breaths. While you're breathing deeply, relax your shoulders, your stomach muscles, the muscles in your face, your hands, and your legs. Let go of all the tightness in your body. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Notice what it feels like as it enters through your nose, goes down through your throat, filling your lungs, and back out through your nose. Notice your stomach and chest rise and fall each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. And just allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. Now bring your attention to the feeling of your breath in your nose. Feel your breath as it comes in and goes out. Just focus on this sensation, paying attention to each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. As you inhale, maybe your breath feels cool. And as you exhale, maybe it feels a little warmer. When your mind wanders, or if you become distracted, just notice what's going on in your head, and then gently bring your attention back to your breath, going in and out. Focus on the feeling of your breath and allow thoughts and feelings to come and go in the background. Now gently bring your attention back to the touch of your body on your seat and open your eyes.
The next one in our Paw Patrol for good control is support. Relationships during this time are actually strained, especially if you're in a small space with the same people, and sometimes some personalities can clash. Either you get fed up with them because you don't spend enough time with them, or you spend too much time with them right now. However, we have to realize the importance of these people as well. And sometimes a good support system is one of the greatest strategies for us to combat stress. A support system can actually include peers, families, relatives, even pets like dogs and cats. Anything that can become a medium for you to be able to express your feelings, a medium for you to be able to talk about certain difficult situations, especially right now. The next one is activity. And in the situation right now, wherein we're all in lockdown, you're staying at home, you can't actually do anything. A lot of us can feel unproductive, can feel that like we're not improving, and that adds to a lot of stress for some of us. Included in the activity can actually be exercise, wherein that feeling of being more attractive or being physically fit can actually help us in the reduction of stress. Organizing your house, making it into a more breathable space can also help reduce stress. And finding a new hobby, or maybe honing a current one. For example, I was able to finally do Dungeons and Dragons, something that I wasn't able to do before. And I get to spend time with friends and even create new ones. A part of activity is being aware of some of the things that can also be bad for us. Drinking too much alcohol, smoking too much, spending too much of our time on the internet. These are some of the sources of activities, some of the activities that can be sources of stress for us. The next one is information. A lot of the times, our fears and our worries, especially about the pandemic, especially about the lockdown, comes from not knowing about what's happening, being uncertain or being confused about a lot of the things that's happening around us. So it's a very good idea to actually be more informed about things. On the other hand, you have to know also what information can help you. The intake of information should also be at moderation. So take a break from time to time, take a break from social media. Take time to stay away from information that, even though they're connected to the pandemic, to COVID-19, can just give you stress. I know it's tempting to read everything on the internet right now, especially if you're on Facebook. But first of all, ask yourself, will this stress me out even further? Also, take time to process the information that you're getting. Is it true? If so, how do you feel about it? Lastly is routine. In the new normal right now, with the constant changes that we're experiencing, with the constant news and information that is flooding in, and with how we need to always adapt to all of those information, the human being needs a form of familiarity or a sense of normalcy, something constant to us. to help us in the reduction of stress. A good idea is to make a list of tasks that you can do. Something that's not too heavy and something that you can stick by. Maybe time to sleep, time to eat, time to exercise, or a task to read a book and to write something. Put in there also time to talk to someone. Doesn't necessarily have to take up your whole day, but being able to have that kind of normalcy, to have that kind of familiarity in a time wherein constant changes are happening, can help reduce stress as well. So this brings us to our last exercise called the 8 ways of well-being. What are the 8 ways of well-being? Well, first is talking. When we say talking, this is being open with people that I trust about how I feel and about how I think. Next is exercising. So this is looking after my body, doing yoga, doing Pilates. If you have a home gym, doing gym, or if you have the space for it, playing a sport and eating healthy. Next would be calming. So this will include trying meditation, getting good sleeping habits like turning your phone off before you go to sleep. Next would be learning. Learning is gaining a new skill, which is actually a great way to gain confidence. Next is relating. Relating is spending time with the people that you love and you care about. This differs from talking because it can also include listening to other people. Next is contributing. This includes helping others or contributing to causes that you believe in. For example, right now, what I'm doing is I believe in raising mental health awareness. That's why I'm doing this talk. Next is creating. So creating is expressing yourself creatively. Good examples would be through music, through art, through drawing, through writing. There are just so many different ways. You don't have to be good at painting. You don't have to be good at writing or drawing to be able to do it. And lastly, congratulating. I think one of the most important ways actually to well-being, but is the least used or the least realized by a lot of people. This is being kind to yourself. This can include listing some qualities that you value in yourself, giving yourself daily affirmations. More or less, it's about self-care as well. So what I want you to do in this activity for 1 week, you're going to choose one of the activities, one of the 8 ways to well-being within your class, or whoever that you trust can help you with this activity. You're going to be an accountability buddy for each other. So you're going to tell them what you're going to do for the rest of the week. Just one activity. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick one activity, and then at the end of the week, you're going to tell each other how you were able to do that activity, how you felt about the activity. To sum it all up, we have the ABCs of stress management. So A is awareness, knowing when you're stressed out, and your body can be an alarm system to that. B is balance, knowing what stressors you have and if they're good or bad stress. And lastly, C for control, using the different skills and methods that you can do for you to be able to manage your stress. One thing that I want to emphasize when it comes to control is acknowledging and accepting and realizing the things that are also out of your control, things that you can't control. One of my favorite video game characters from this franchise called Mass Effect once said, "There's a peace in knowing that though the universe is beyond your understanding, it doesn't need your understanding to function." Accepting that there are things that are out of our control and there are situations that are out of our control helps us to give more time and attention to the things that are in our control. And with that, we're able to better manage our stress. Lastly, I leave to you a message from a special friend. When you're feeling fearful, full of anxiety, full of worry, when you're feeling really, really stressed out, remember this. For I am the Lord your God, who holds your right hand, who says to you, "Do not fear, I will help you." That ends our talk on stress management. I hope that a lot of you were able to learn about how to manage your stress, even little by little each day. I'm really thankful and I'm really happy, especially for those who were able to reach the end of this video. And if you need any help with regards to mental health, counseling, or if you need any direction towards a professional, you can always contact me through my Facebook or through my Instagram. If you want to know more about mindfulness, or if you want to learn more about depression, anxiety, and stress management, you can always contact me. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.